everybody, it is Self-Care Sunday! How we doing tonight? How is everybody tonight? What is happening on your Self-Care Sunday? There I am. Hey, Adele and Dazzle, how are you? Great to have you with us tonight. How are things? How is everything on this Self-Care Sunday? Hopefully you got some self-care in today. You need it too. Where's my self-care glasses? There, I've got glasses now. I can see. I can see tonight, he says. It is great to have everybody here on Self-Care Sunday. Hopefully things are getting better around the country. I hear some thawing and better conditions, improving conditions in Texas. For people I've talked to there, getting a tiny bit warmer in the middle of the country, which is good, I have heard. So there is good things happening in the world. Ah, it's treat time for Dazzle. Yes, I understand that. We just had chicken out, and Max was going crazy. He goes nuts for his chicken. Well, Costco chicken, that is. Hey, Kitty, how are you? How are things in the center of the country there? Hope all is well with you on this Self-Care Sunday. Hope you are doing very well. Getting any kind of thaw there? I know you had sunshine yesterday. Hopefully improving temperatures. I saw on the weather today we're supposed to hit 50 the middle of the week. I'm like, 50? We got a little clip coming by tomorrow, but nothing real. Nothing real. I spent, hey, Kath, how are you? Hello, Northern Illinois. How are things? The sun was out part of the day. I went to see... nice! I'm glad you got to see Sarah. That's awesome. That is terrific. I'm glad you had some time with her. It is... the sun was out part of the day here. We had lots of clothing shoppers in, which was... Hey, I'm thankful for that. Not as much decor shopping today, but lots of clothing shoppers. Very, very, very happy with all the... I don't care what they're shopping for, as long as they shop. You know, at the end of the day, I want to sell lots of everything. I'm happy that they were shopping, and all reports are people were in a good mood. So that's a good thing. And you know, if we are on a warming trend with 40s and 50s this week, 40 and hitting 50 maybe this week, that would be even better as we continue moving forward, everybody. So let's get started here tonight. Let's get started on this Sunday night. We are in the Good Morning Good Night book, which is how we start this program every night. That's where we start. Tonight we're on page 166. Good morning, people of every color, shape, and stripe. Hold up, you with the stripes, get over here. That's awesome. Boom, there's your good morning, people. Well, folks, it is Self-Care Sunday. Self-Care Sunday is the day we set aside each and every week for you to take time for you to refill your pitcher, so that you can pour out on everyone and everything in your life. You got to take time to refill. You got to restock that energy bank. And you need Self-Care Sunday to do that. You have to take time each and every week. It doesn't, Sunday's just a metaphor. Sunday's a metaphor. It doesn't have to be Sunday. You got to understand, it's okay if you've got to work the store on Sunday and you have to do it on Tuesday. Or maybe half a day Tuesday and half a day Thursday. Whenever you do it, it is so important that you take the time to do it each and every week. I don't want you to miss a beat with it. at all. It is so important. We did a good half day plus yesterday of self-care yesterday. Today we worked a little more than we planned on. I was over there at the desk, although I made some great progress, had some great phone calls with some of y'all today. It was a good day. It was a very productive day. I admit fully that I was a little disappointed in myself for the amount of time I spent at my desk, but I was really excited for all that we accomplished. That I got done today. So that is good, and I've got an exciting week. We also have, every Self-Care Sunday, we have the recipe of the week. The recipe of the week for Self-Care Sunday. Hey! Michelle is here. Great to have you here live, Michelle, on Self-Care Sunday. Our recipe of the week from Julie Jankowitz this week was the Mongolian beef. Mongolian beef, which even Adele posted tonight that, hey, I'm going to make some of that. I got the beef in the fridge. I got it getting ready to go. That's awesome. That's awesome. I want you to have the Self-Care Sunday recipes. It has made us so strong. You can find this recipe for the Mongolian beef and all the recipes from all the Self-Care Sundays at narts.org/resalestrong, REC. narts.org/resalestrong, REC. That's what takes you straight to the Resale Strong Cookbook. The Resale Strong Cookbook is how we're getting through all of this. We're cooking our way to the other side. We're cooking. And this week we're cooking Mongolian beef. Although Julie said it is also great with chicken. So, give that recipe a shot. It's not too, it's on the simpler side, which is always a good recipe. Doesn't have too many steps. So, I do like that. Well, folks, we are here. We are here at the start of week 49 and 50. The week 49 and 50, depending on how you're counting. Depending on how you are counting, we are at week 49 or 50 here that we are kicking off tonight. Yes, we are. Week 48, 49 is in the books. This is week 49 and 50, depending on how you're counting. So excited to be with you here at the start of this week. You know what? It's a good week to have a good week. That is what our friend Jerry says. It's a good week to have a good week. And this week, with the improving weather conditions around the country in general, I mean, not that there's not going to be any storms. We've had our share of headwinds for all 49 weeks. But, there is opportunity for you to get out there and slay it as we kick off week 49 and 50. And I am super excited to be kicking it off there with you. Few things going on tonight as we kick off the week. A few things kicking off the week. Chewy, our dog friends, our pet friends. I guess they're pet friendly. And they take all sorts of pets. Chewy is taking IBM to court over patent control. This is really very important because patent trolls have really done a lot on the internet. Hey, that's awesome, Kath. Congratulations. So excited to hear people getting vaccinated. I talked to my aunt, one of my aunts tonight, and they are up for their second shots this week in Florida. Nana's gotten her first one. My brother's gotten both his. My sister and brother-in-law have both gotten their. This is just, it's happening, people. It's happening, and things will continue to improve. Not that we don't face headwinds, but they will continue to improve. So, there's been a lot of talk, over time about patent trolls who buy up companies that are going under and things. They buy up patents and then just use them to sue, not because they're making anything or doing anything. Oh, that's great, Julie. I didn't even see you sneak in here. That's awesome. Glad your employee got shot. We are going to hear more and more about that. More and more. Hey, Jennifer, great to have you here live. But Chewy is actually taking IBM to court suing them because IBM is suing Chewy over some patents it earned. IBM has earned a reputation over the decades for obtaining patents. While IBM has obtained thousands of patents over the past 20 years, it is widely accepted that IBM does not itself make or sell any products or services covered by the vast majority of those patents. Instead, IBM has an army of lawyers who try to patent just about anything, and then aggressively seeks to license those patents. Chewy claims that the licensing campaign involves accusing web-based companies of infringing on early internet patents, then demanding large sums in royalty payments to avoid costly litigation, pointing to lawsuits against firms such as Twitter, Priceline, Groupon, Expedia, Zillow, Airbnb, in accordance with the pattern. Chewy got a notice from IBM in July accusing the company of infringing on 4 IBM patents by operating its website. While Chewy denied IBM's claim in writings, IBM kept sending letters, including an email that claimed damages and future royalties could exceed $83 million. IBM then offered to settle the dispute based on a payment by Chewy of $36 million in exchange for a cross-license, pointing out that others have paid IBM for cross-licenses ranging from $20 to $57.5 million. Chewy, which reported $6 billion in revenue in 2020, declined the offer, instead filing the suit. IBM has topped the list of most U.S. patents granted for the past 28 years. So that is kind of interesting, because there have been a lot of patent trolls, but seeing IBM, it is extortion. It is extortion. Not that we're going after the lawyers here, Kitty. With your daughter in that group. But hey, IBM is using extortion techniques, and this is, from a legitimate company. There are real patent trolls out there that are buying up legitimate patents for people that made things and then going on a suing spree because of those patents. IBM isn't even making the things that they say in the patents. So they're coming up with these far-fetched ideas, getting the ideas patented without actually manufacturing or designing anything, and then going after people that are successful with the purported technology. Okay, it is extortion. It's just plain and simple. It will be interesting to follow and see where that goes, because some of the smaller ones have gone after companies of all sizes, company like ours. Okay, and the patent trolls like to go after them, saying you're not using the scanner that you use on your computer. You don't have the proper license or patent for the software. They go after a lot of small businesses with that. So there's been push on Congress. I've worked with people on pushing back on Congress to do something about patent trolls. But when you see a company like IBM act just like that and try to extort these people, it is not good. I was disappointed in that. It sounds like the old wise guys in Chicago. Have we got an offer for you? Have we got an offer for you? Switching gears, like this is a surprise. I know this isn't about your friends, the Blue Mountains, Kitty, but our friends at Boston Beer, Sam Adams, it shows that people are buying beer during this pandemic. Okay, if there's been anything that's been a winner during this pandemic, even with keg sales dropping, so Boston Beer supply issues and large drops in keg sales didn't stop Boston Beer from reporting revenue and production growth in 2020. They reported $192 million in net income on $1.85 billion in revenue. That's up $110 million from $110 million in net income the year before, in 2019, on $1.3 billion. So that's a pretty nice jump. Yes, totally shocking, Julie, that beer sales are up. And even though keg shipments were down because of the shutdown of restaurants, bars, and sporting venues, which gutted normal keg volume, keg volume dropped to 3% of normal last year. The earnings growth was in spite of supply chain issues on can, cardboard wrap, and glass supplies in 2020. The company said the shortages slowed down production, but it's working with manufacturers to ensure it won't see further supply issues in 2021. They say, thankfully, customers sought out their products at liquor stores, more than making up for the challenges. Their volume in barrels of beer rose from 5.3 million barrels in 2019 to 7.4 million barrels in 2020. And also growth in their seltzer products, their Truly Hard Seltzer and Twisted Tea brands. And because of that, the president of Sam Adams gets a $2 million bonus, in addition to various stock options, blah, blah, blah. But people have been drinking during the pandemic. Even with all we've been through, Adele hasn't started drinking. So I'm good with that, So there are some people that did not drink more during the pandemic. Adele was not part of this story. I just dragged her in. Facebook. So this is... yes, we should all get our liquor licenses. We should all we should all get our liquor licenses. We have a good customer who owns a liquor store, and she has been in shopping regularly. So I'll take that. I'll take that as a start, as our royalties. Yes, there is a recession-proof product. Yes, it is. So whether you're unemployed, wherever you are in this pandemic, you found a way to get beer. Okay, they found a way. Even Coors, was delivering those that couldn't get out. That lady that they delivered to on her front porch, I loved that. Hey, Kelly, great to have you here from Albuquerque. Great to have you in the house on Self-Care Sunday. This is a growing thing, so this is important, okay? Facebook is going to block news content in Australia in response to new media bargaining laws. So this is big deal, and it is part of a growing wave of one saying the news costs money. It costs money to generate news content, legitimate news content, and to keep down on fake news. Over the last several years, Facebook has been heavily criticized for its impact on news distribution and its subsequent influence on political and societal shifts. Now we're about to get a case study on whether those criticisms are actually justified. The social network is blocking all news content in Australia due to a disagreement over the Australian government's proposed new media bargaining laws. In response to Australia's proposed new media bargaining law, Facebook will restrict publishers and people in Australia from sharing or viewing Australian and international news content. All the major news outlets, if you're in Australia, come up with a black cover image with the post tab removed. Facebook has also canceled media interviews in Australia, while various reports have also indicated that pages of government departments have gotten caught up in the blockade. This is a major stance for Facebook to take. Earlier this week, Google announced deals with two of Australia's biggest news publishers, which will see the search giant pay these publishers around $30 million each for use of their content, i.e., the content isn't free. Okay? Content, it costs money to create legitimate news content. To have reporters in places, to fact check things, to do stuff. This costs money. Those $30 million deals will ensure Google can continue to operate under the bargaining provisions But without such agreements, Google too was threatening to pull out of the Australian market. But Facebook has opted not to adhere to the new rules and opted out. The rules sought to force Google and Facebook to share a portion of their respective revenue with news publishers versus a code agreement. So this is big because this could have far-reaching implications. This could, as this develops, you could see that other countries, the EU, and countries around the world, and you could see the call for something like this in the United States. So this is going to be interesting to see how this plays out. I can't see Google and Facebook wanting to pay the amount of money. It would be more than $30 million to get, all the major news organizations in the U.S. on board with them for a sharing agreement. So this is big. This is a big step that Australia is taking, and you could certainly see ramifications of this around the world moving forward. It'll also be interesting to see what customers do. The customers of the social media, how people then choose to get their news and information. Not everybody gets the paper delivered. I still get the paper delivered, but not everybody gets the paper delivered. And I don't know about Australia, whether down under how the information comes otherwise. So you might have to turn on the 6 o'clock news, or maybe in Australia they run it at 3 o'clock. Who knows? Julie knows. Julie's been to Australia. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, people. I like this quote. I forget whether I used this one or not before, but I liked this quote. Don't follow the path. Go where there is no path and begin the trail. Don't follow the path. Go where there is no path and begin the trail. From Ruby Bridges. Actually, I did read that this week. Civil rights activist, first black student to desegregate an all-white elementary school in the South. In the South. Don't follow the path. Go where there is no path and begin the trail. We get an afternoon paper and we get the daily, and then we get I think 3 days a week or 4 days a week we get the longest continuously published paper in America, the Hartford Courant. We get so. They go into the details. They get into the weeds in these papers, and that's why we get them and read them. And read them, people. Reading is fundamental. It's what keeps us educated. Okay. Tonight, just switching gears here for a second on, I'm going to briefly talk PPP for a second, because again, if you never got a PPP ever, okay, you can still get a first PPP if you had income or payroll. So if you had Schedule C income, if you had payroll, you can get a first-time PPP. And there's also the potential in this short window over the next few weeks that you could get a second PPP. You could get both within a short period of time. So if you have any income, if you have any payroll, you should be looking at that and should be trying to get that done. If you have any questions, you can email me, Neil, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com, N-E-I-L, at ECIstores.com. I want you to get everything you're entitled to. And at this point, they are not talking about extending it past the end of March. Under the current draft I have of the $1.9 trillion plan. So, it's instead of a 6,000-page bill, it's a 600-page bill. And, I'll have more details tomorrow and the next day on it as it's continuing to get negotiated. But, I want you to get whatever you can so that you have a strong foundation coming out of this. And we'll be talking about the bill this week. On the employee retention tax credit. We have talked about, are wages paid by an employer to employees who are related individuals considered qualified wages? Okay, and we've talked about that. The following, who is related to an employer, okay, a person owning more than 50% of a company is not eligible. If it is a child or a descendant of a child, a brother, sister, stepbrother, or stepsister, the father or mother or an ancestor of either, a stepfather or stepmother, a niece or nephew, an aunt or an uncle, a son-in-law, daughter-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, or sister-in-law. Who is left out of that? Who is left out of that? What relative is left out of that? That would still be qualified. Your spouse. Your spouse is left out of that and could be qualified on the ERTC. Go figure. You're not related to your spouse. That's what it says. That's the IRS for you. I don't make the rules. I just help you. Yeah, that is correct, Julie. Your spouse. I don't make the rules. I just help you follow them. I do not make the rules. I just help you follow them. So that is under the current definition. So just be aware of that. There you go. You know what's happening in 27 days? 27 days, people. You know what's 27 days away? Dun, 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 dun. It starts with an S. Hey, the government's comical, kitty. That's all I can tell you. That's all I can tell you is the government's comical. The government is comical. Spring is coming. Yes, 27 days, people. 27 days to the first day of spring. You're almost there. You're almost there. Okay? Yes, Michelle, you can have the check billionaire on your payroll as your spouse and still be covered. Yes. 27 days till spring, people. It is coming. I'm telling you, we're making it. No, we're not talking anniversaries yet. We got a lot of celebrations to happen with that, though, Michelle, and we're going to be talking about that coming up. Hey, Joanne, great to have you here. But yes, 27 days till spring, people. 27 days. It is going to come. It is going to be here. It is coming. There is a rebirth coming, okay? Of the planet, of your business, of you. Of you right in here. The spring will spring. And hope springs eternal. On this Self-Care Sunday, where it's a great week to have a great week. You know what else? This video and everything I talk about, everything, including the recipe for the Mongolian beef, goes over to narts.org/resale-strong by noon the very next day. Noon, I tell you. That's where it's at. narts.org/resale-strong by noon. Everything's there. All the files, a link to the Resale Strong cookbook right there on the Resale Strong page. Everything's right there. The link to the YouTube channel. You're not alone running this store, where you can like, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when a new one drops. You can also share it with all your friends in business. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, whoever they are. We want to help them get across the finish line here. And we want to help them get to spring and beyond. The spring is just our springboard, people. Spring and beyond. It's you are like Buzz Lightyear. You're going to spring and beyond. I am here every night at more 8 than ish, live in the Nards private Facebook group. You find me here live every night. If you have a question in between, you just email me, Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. NEIL at ECIstores.com. We start this program every night with the Good Morning, Good Night book. There it is. Tonight, if you were not here at the top of the program, we're on page 166. Good morning, people of every color, shape, and stripe. Hold up, you with the stripes. Get over here. That's awesome. Our good night tonight is good night, people of every shape, color, and stripe. And those of you who change colors in the sun. There's your graphics, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Neil Abramson. I'm sorry it's snowing in Chicago, Joanne. But I am Neil Abramson, and I do like a good party, a wedding, a bar mitzvah, maybe a sprung party. I don't know. We will party again. I know we will. And when we do, yes, I will. I'll be there with you. Yes, I will. But until then, and until tomorrow night at more 8 than ish, know that you, and you, but most importantly you, yes you, you're not alone running this store. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. It's time for dessert.